All right, we're doing another speed sculpting challenge with the time already started. I have 10 minutes to do this sculpture, and for this one I've decided to do an eye. And just to be a little bit tougher, I'm going to be doing a black eye with black clay. Oh, I gotta move. And so I'm Andrew Joseph Keith. I'm an artist and sculptor and online sculpting instructor. That's kind of what I've dedicated the last whatever, 8 years or so of my life. And so if you're interested in sculpture, then I hope you'll check out my online sculpting courses. They're really helpful for those that want to learn to do these kinds of things and just to solidify your understanding of the form and the face. There's a course on portrait sculpting that goes over each of the features in detail, and this is a method that I use to sculpt the eye as like a little eye study demo, and it starts with the brow ridge right here as well as the nose. And so those are the first things that I'm thinking about when sculpting the eye, even though we don't have a lot of time. I'm already over a minute into it and I haven't got into any of the details, but I want to make sure that the structure around the eye is established. And to do that, I'm just going to build out the brow and build out the nose. So we got the nose here. The brow, I'm just going to check it from the side to see, because one of the common mistakes that beginners often make is to make the eye too shallow, like it's on a flat plane. There's actually quite a bit of depth as the face turns around, and there's like a lot of roundness and depth to the eye, and so I don't want to make that mistake. So now I've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay in the eye socket. Just with that, you can already start to see it kind of come together. Let's see, I'll maybe put a little bit more up where the eyebrow is. We don't have a lot of time. Time goes fast when you're sculpting. Got to move a little bit faster if I'm going to get this eye done in time. Okay, let's see. So now I'm going to start coming in and laying in some of these inside forms, building out the bottom of the eye socket as it transitions over here to the zygomatic arch and the cheekbone. I want to get that, a little bit of the side of the head, or the side of the cheek, and just kind of establish these really quickly. Hopefully, I need to be going a little bit faster. All right. And then I did allow myself to use a tool for this speed sculpture, but it's just this popsicle stick. So we'll see if we even get to the point where I need to use it, because 10 minutes is not a long time to do an eye study. And so I don't even know if we'll get that far into needing to use the tool. Here I'm coming in, laying in the eyebrow just above the eye socket. Let's see, I feel like that outside corner of the eye socket needs to be pushed over a little bit. Let's round this brow. Okay, now I can finally start to think about the inside of the eye, what's happening there. And for this, I generally like to, let's add some clay to build out the eyelids. I'm going to do that first, because I think that's a good way to go about sculpting the eye. So I'm just laying in that upper eyelid on top. Oh, that might be a little bit too large. Let's put some clay for the eyeball itself. I don't want that to be too big at this point. And then the lower eyelid. Let's see. The lower eyelid over here. You can see that I'm trying to make sure that it's not just an almond shape. It kind of comes down a little bit lower here, goes up a little bit higher in this inside corner. There's this asymmetry to the eye that I'm trying to include. And we're halfway, so I think I can hopefully, establish it, get it looking a little bit better by the end, because the forms are starting to be there. I might even come in and try to do the eye itself. Oh, let's see if we could do that. So the only thing I'm going to do is just with this popsicle stick, or one thing I'm going to do is with this popsicle stick kind of twist it to get that iris, the colored portion of the eye. And it's still looking very, very rough at this stage. So, but I think, you know, I have a little bit of time. So if I can just clarify some of the things that are happening, I think maybe I could get it to a better state. It's feeling too large. That eyeball itself is a little bit large. Let me push in a little bit. And so, yeah, there's a sculpting course, or there's the portrait sculpting course, there's a figure sculpting course. The figure sculpting course is usually where I recommend people start. It's kind of everything I wish I knew when I started sculpting people. It goes over wire armatures for people and all of that kind of stuff, simplifying the primary forms of the body, the head, the rib cage, the pelvis. We even cover some things like mold making and a bunch of other stuff. And so if you're interested in sculpting, you think you might want to get better at it, this traditional sculpting with clay, then I definitely encourage checking that out to start with. Then the more advanced course is the portrait sculpting course. It goes like more in depth on anatomy, the muscles of the head and neck, the muscles of the face, and the fat pads of the face, you know, all these tricky things that are difficult to learn. There's lessons on all of those. And then usually with a lesson, there's an assignment that you're supposed to, that you can do. And those assignments are really where the rubber meets the road. It's really where you get all that learning. And so I definitely encourage you to do the assignments if you get the courses, because that's where you're going to see the most benefit. Let's see, I'm going to push in this lower part of the eyelid, and then there's this fat pad underneath the eye, what is it, inferior orbital fat pad that kind of surrounds the eye over here. There's a upper cheek fat pad here on the outside part of the eye that soften this area around the eye quite a bit. We only have 2 minutes. So, man, this is not, I mean, it's not looking great, but maybe if I clarify what's happening with the eyebrow, we can get it a little bit better in this last minute. Man, that is tricky. Sculpting in with not a lot of time. Sculpting it just kind of generally takes a little bit more time than some of the other things that you do in art. Just because you're working on things from every angle. Let me see. Okay. Just going to put this. Lift this. Oh, we got some purple in there. Okay. Oh, man. Just a minute left. Now I'm working around the eye a little bit, because a lot of the information that we're judging when we look at people's eyes, when we recognize their face, is we're just taking little measurements all around, and a lot of that happens around the eye. It's not actually the eyeball itself. It's just like everything that's going on in the relationships between the eyebrow and the eye and the nose, the ridge of the nose, and we're just making all of those calculations super fast, and that's why we're very good at recognizing when anything is off and, you know, recognizing a person instantly, basically. A lot of the times you can recognize somebody just if you have an image of their eye. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough. It's difficult to, that upper eyelid needs to come forward more, because it should be more forward in space than the lower eyelid. So maybe that'll help. We just got a couple more seconds. Let me just push that forward, see if that helps at all with the shape of the eye. 15 seconds. Man. 10. Okay. Well, it's gonna have to be good enough. Okay, there it is. That's as good as we we did in 10 minutes. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right, there's the 10-minute sculpture challenge with the eye. I'll get some close-ups of that. Go ahead and do this challenge. This is the one I did yesterday for the portrait. I did a 10-minute portrait, 10-minute eye. Maybe I'll do some of the other features, and then I'll just have this be a study board of 10-minute sculpture challenges. Hopefully you'll check out those courses if you're interested. If you like this type of stuff, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you'd like to see in these 10-minute challenges, or if there's other things you'd like to see in upcoming videos, I'd be curious. Stay creative, stay productive, and hopefully I'll see you again soon in another video.